It's about that time. Let's go ahead and get this going here. Welcome into Ram Showcase Live. We do this every Monday, in season, out of season. That is the plan, that this will be something that just goes on and on and on and on and on. Of course, the Rams did fall to a 2-3 record after losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. I do have a poll that is up on the YouTube stream, if that's the way that you are watching me, so you can go ahead and vote there. I'm basically asking who do you blame for this loss? The offense, the defense, the Rams coaching, or the Eagles game plan? And I'm very excited. I'm going to wait and kind of withhold my opinions on this because I kind of want to see how that shakes out. Right now it's 50-50 offense defense, not Rams coaching staff, and not the Eagles game plan. So I put those in there very specifically. So that's just make your call, make your vote if you are watching on the YouTube channel. And I'm just kind of curious to see how that poll kind of unfolds here. So obviously it was unfortunate the way that game went down. Obviously we want to see the team do a little bit better of a job as a whole, especially, going into halftime, that last minute of halftime, like that's of the first half, kind of sucked because obviously you get that touchdown to Puka and we're feeling really good. We're like, holy crap, got a chance to go into halftime up and we get the ball back. This is going to be awesome. And then, of course, they go right down, get some, unfortunate penalties. I don't really believe in that penalty that happened on DK, but whatever. I mean, penalties happen. They happen for us. They happen against us. It's just part of the world. So whatever. But I really thought that should have been offensive pass interference. But whatever. I'm not a ref, so maybe they saw something that that I did not, or something like that. But either way, then they do, of course, their play, the brotherly shove, which we're gonna stop saying tush push because that's so dumb. I hate that. But brotherly shove, I guess, just a QB sneak. That's all. But yeah, obviously. That's such a tough play to stop. We were kind of talking about it at halftime and kind of like their strategy and what they do. And it's like, yeah, if you need a yard, that really is almost a guaranteed play. Like just the way that the entire thing happens from snap to movement, the defense really doesn't really have a shot there. So, I mean, credit to them, but I'm sure that play will get taken out eventually. That's just the way it works. I think really it'll take a pretty big injury to happen on that play. That's when something will happen because you have like guys who are like 300 pounds and a bunch of them, and also some of the most freakishly strong people that exist like athletically, and they're all just colliding and running right at each other like that, trying to stop each other. Someone's going to get hurt, and that's what it's going to take to get that play out of the game, but that's fine. And like, I guess I'll say this too, is like that, like, and this is not to like try to trash the Eagles in any capacity because they're 5-0 team. They're obviously really good at football, but like that is the most boring brand of football that there is right now. There is nothing exciting about what the Eagles do. They don't do anything creative. They don't do anything that fun. They're just really good at it. Like they're really good at boring football, and that's awesome. I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do, right? They're winning football games. It's also really early in the season, so we'll see kind of how it all unfolds and how health kind of plays into it at all. But ultimately, I got to say that I'm not on the same side as all these Rams fans of being super down on this team right now. And maybe that's just my optimism coming out because, yeah, I'm a pretty optimistic guy, and I like to see the best in this team especially. But I think that ultimately when we look at where the Rams are sitting at right now, we're 2-3. 2 of our 3 losses are against the 2 NFC championship, or like the NFC favorites right now, and the only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. We have a big win over Seattle. We have an awesome win over the Colts. Then that bogus loss against the Bengals, which shouldn't have really happened, but whatever, But that's where we're kind of sitting at right now. This is still a young team. We knew that this kind of stuff was possible. And I think that if in the preseason you told me that we'd be 2-3 going into the Arizona Cardinals game, I wouldn't be thrilled about it, but I would at least accept it because we know what this team is. We know that this team is extremely young, extremely inexperienced, but still has a lot of playmakers. And we saw that right away with the ability of like Cooper Kupp to come in and hit the offense the way that he did. It's like, okay, well, Cooper Kupp's still Cooper Kupp, which is awesome to see. And then Puka Nacua, obviously his numbers did take a dip, but you kind of expect that when Cooper Kupp comes back, Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP. Obviously, you expect the attention to go away from other people. And then I'm also like, there's a couple of names here that I kind of like. I think my entire vibe on these players has shifted. Van Jefferson. He had 2 snaps, and I think that's totally reasonable. He hasn't done a very good job this year, so yeah, keep him on the sideline. And Michael Hoyt. he's getting too many reps out here because he has no business being in coverage. And honestly, he's not even that good at pass rushing right now. So I've been down on Michael Hoyt so far this season. I was excited to see him entering the season, but the way that he's performing out here, there's no reason to get excited about this guy. He's done nothing awesome. He's done nothing awesome, even if it is rushing the passer. But then we have him in coverage, covering Goddard deep. Are you kidding me, Raheem? Like, what are we doing out here, man? That's the reason I'm going to be insane. That seeing Michael Hoyt downfield in coverage is going to be the reason that I'm insane. And I don't even feel comfortable saying the word coverage because I don't think that's what he's even doing. He's just not pass rushing. That's what I'm going to call that because it's an absolute joke what is going down as far as like the coverage goes with Michael Hoyt specifically. That guy, oh my goodness. But okay, so we're gonna drop the join link in now. So if anybody does want to hop in with me, that is absolutely okay. To come on if you got any questions, you just want to have a chat with me to talk about this Rams team right now. In the meantime, we will start going over some comments here. So Paul did start. This was before the stream began. He said the Rams game was very disappointing, and I would like to see them run the ball more. Stafford missed passes. Defense played well overall. I don't think any unit played well overall, actually. I don't think the offense played well, mainly because, I mean, McVay abandons the run game. The second we're down 1 point, he's just like, and then the defense also not getting off the field. So I think that has to be considered as well. Like, we can blame one unit all we want to, but it's a team game, and the offense didn't help the defense by helping, like, getting them a breath so that they could, like, catch their breath and be okay. But at the same time, too, the defense didn't ever put the offense in a good position. Even our own turnover was a touchback. So, I mean, yeah, we got the turnover, stopped them from scoring, get the offense the ball back, but it's still like we still got 80 yards to go. Like we didn't at any point get like a short field or anything like that. So I think that everybody's to blame here. It just wasn't our day. And ultimately, I mean, you lose, it was like we didn't lose by that much ultimately, which, I mean, losing's losing. There's no excuses there, but overall, I think we played an okay game against a team that I think is just better than us, really. So I see that the votes are here, mostly voting for the defense as far as who to blame for the loss. I'm with you, but at the same time, the offense has to be able to move the football and get them off the field. Give them a breath. You have to let them breathe because time of possession that's been on the Rams side this entire season, except for this game. And that's kind of what I said in the show this week was we need to control time of possession because that's what really concerned me about this game. And of course, didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I'll say, because as far as the vote goes, I'll tell you mine. So my vote in the YouTube poll in the comment section there is who's to blame for the loss to the Eagles, the offense, the defense, the Rams coaching staff, or the Philadelphia Eagles game plan. I think it's all of those, but if I had to drop my vote, it's the Eagles game plan. The Eagles game plan won that game. We had no shot at that game. With the way that they were able to kind of manipulate the game itself, that was an Eagles game that the Rams happened to be part of. That's kind of how it felt, right? Like we weren't dictating anything in that game. The Eagles made the game happen to us. We sat there while the game happened to us. We weren't making anything happen ourselves. So that happens. It's okay. It's going to be fine. But ultimately, like I said, we have 2 losses to teams that are incredible in the NFC and 2 undefeated teams right now. So I guess I'm just a lot less down on this team than others are. We do have a guest in here, though, and I need everybody to just be on their best behavior, okay? Because we have an awesome dude coming into the stream here. First time popping into the stream, and you've seen him in the comment section. You know who he is. He's the cool bro, man. What the heck is up?
What's up, bro?
Dude, it's fine. It's good
I
to
even
finally
made some notes right here.
have a conversation. You got questions? Hell yeah, man. Hit me. Let's do this.
So I have 5 questions right here.
All right.
Ever stream that I've ever been on.
Nice.
So,
love that.
First question. So let me get this right here. Do you make a logbook for Rams games? I make a logbook right here. So I pretty much get I put the score right here after the score. I put whoever gets the first touchdown right here. I put the date, and then the game I put the first quarter, so I can make notes from the first quarter, then second quarter, then third quarter, and then fourth quarter, and then I put the winner at the bottom.
Dude, that's amazing. I don't do that because I'm just sitting here watching and enjoying myself, giving high fives and stuff like that. But I will tell you that when I was in college, I graduated with a sportscasting degree. That is one of the assignments that we had to do. We had to log a game, and we had to also write like the time of the play, so what time the ball was snapped, and then exactly what happened, who ran the football for how many yards, was it a first down, what was the down and distance, who tackled them, all that stuff, man. So you're on the right path. I like it.
All right, next question here. Have you seen Nine and Dime yet?
I actually have not. I'll be honest here, man, because when it first was on, I was about to leave for work, so I was gonna catch it really quick. But then when I turned it on, it was during the premiere, so it wasn't at the beginning. So I was like, oh well, I'll just wait and hold off on that. So I'm gonna watch it later. But I didn't get around to watching it, man. But now you called me out, so I'm gonna have to watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like Cooper Cup and like Matthew Stafford just answering questions together. It's like the best duo for it, and I can't wait to see more in the season.
Love that.
Who do you think is better, Kurt Warner or Joe Montana?
Oh man, put me on the spot there, dude. That's a like obviously my Rams brain wants to say Kurt Warner, but I can't because it's not true. I have to say Montana's better between those two.
I mean, honestly, if you were to ask me, I would say Kurt Warner is better only because I saw American Underdog and it was just amazing.
Fair enough.
Like 10 out of 10. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, Joe Montana didn't get a movie about him. All right, I love it. What's the next question, man?
What's your hopes for week 6? I know we lost against the Eagles. That was like the worst loss ever. But our defense is young, and we held up pretty good against a 4-0 team. So, yeah, what's your hopes for week 6?
You're absolutely right. We held up really strong against a 4-0 team, a very good team in the Philadelphia Eagles who score a lot of points, and the Rams held them to 23. So I think that is a plus to take away from this game for sure. As far as the Arizona Cardinals go, that is a team that the Rams have historically, if you look at this past like 5 seasons or so, has had a lot of luck against. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that the way that Sean McVay's demeanor was after the game, I don't know if you watch the post-game press conferences like I do. I usually put him on in the car when I'm driving home. And the way that his demeanor was in that one, I almost feel bad for the Arizona Cardinals, who now get to deal with this Rams team coming off of that loss, which did just kind of feel like we just got outplayed, outcoached, out everything in that game. But it was still pretty close. So I do hope and expect that the Rams put it down on the Cardinals. And I expect a big win for the Rams this week.
Yeah, me too, because I think Cardinals is going to be a pretty easy win because Cardinals are kind of doing bad this season. No offense to any Cardinals fans watching.
No, super offense to Cardinals fans.
And, yeah, it's going to be easy. Probably going to be an easy win. And I have pretty good hopes for Ahkello Witherspoon. He played pretty good, and Cooper Kupp. I'm so happy that Kupp is back. As you can see, got a Rams jersey on. I mean, a Cooper Kupp jersey on that's a Rams jersey. Cooper Kupp is honestly the best player ever.
He's so good.
And can't wait to see Puka. I know he got his second touchdown in the versus the Eagles, and I think Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua will get the first touchdown in that Cardinals game. We just have to up our defense. That's all what we have to do. So now, fifth question. Reasonable. Yeah. What's your opinion on how Stafford played?
You know what? I really am a big fan of Stafford. And I know he's not perfect, but you show me a quarterback that's perfect in the NFL, and I'm going to tell you to wake up from your dreams because that does not exist in the real world, all right? So he's going to have his mistakes, and that kind of tends to happen, but he's probably the toughest player in the NFL. He plays through, I think, more pain than anybody else would be willing to play through. And I love Matthew Stafford. I think the way he approaches the game. I think that one of the things, too, like if we go back to even last week, the Kyren Williams first touchdown of the game against the Colts, where you see Stafford do his little jump up and his little hop, and he throws his fist in the air, and it's like, man, he's just in it, man. So I love the way that Matthew Stafford played. I've got no complaints, really. He does have like 1 or 2 plays a game where you're like, what were you doing there, man? But I mean, that's going to happen. Everybody has their things. What do you think? How do you think he played?
I honestly think that he could have played better. He could have played a little bit better because I think that he's a tryout, like some new plays. I have some ideas, so I think there's this one that no one uses it anymore. The Statue of Liberty. So pretty much, you have the ball right here, and let me get a football. You have the
I love
ball
this.
right here, and you take it. So you pretend to throw it like this. You have this, and then you throw it like this, and the ball, you put it. Oh, geez. You put it like behind your back right here, but the arm is up. So you freeze, hold the arm like this, and they're going, and then freeze it, and then the running back will come up behind you and grab it, and then kind of just go like so. Like right here is the QB.
Yeah.
Running back is like right here. QB
Yeah,
here.
you do a
Running
like
back
fake play.
goes,
The ball's in this
catches it.
hand, you do a fake with that hand. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and
That's a
then
good
you
play. But you know
run.
what? The Rams absolutely have the people to do that too. I think that'd be a good play for us.
It'd be amazing if the Rams actually do that. And you know that one that Jared Goff does most of the time? He gives it to so when in 2017 or 2018, I think Jared Goff did the play with Cup. He handed the ball off to Cup. So Cup caught it like a running back. Then Cup runs over to Tyler Higbee. Or like the tight end at the time. He hands it to Tyler Higbee. Higbee runs it back to the QB and hands it to QB. And then the QB takes it and then throws it long pass to Cooper Kupp to get the touchdown. That was
we've definitely seen stuff like that. We saw it twice, obviously, this last week with two tight ends getting touchdowns on that with Laporta and Kittle getting kind of on that similar play. I've actually got questions coming in the comment section for you, man. So Shannon, he's talking about your hat, dude. Says that hat is fire, man. He needs to know where you got it.
I got it from Lids.
From Lids, all right, because that was his question, man. Lids, all right. Lids, Shannon, that's where he needs to go, man.
And look at the side right here.
Ooh, love that, man. You got the Cup jersey. You got a sick hat on, man. You're all fresh, man. I'm gonna have a Colorado jersey because I feel like a loser today. That's why I wore it.
I think this one's cool. But Ramsaholics hat. He has this like golden hat, like it's like golden at the top right here, and it looks amazing. That's like the coolest hat I've ever seen from Ramsaholic.
I'll have to check that out. I try to keep it pretty basic with my hats, actually. So I mean, I got the pins on here and stuff like that. I got that one. I don't know if you can see that Super Bowl pin. I got that from Vince.
I got a basic one right here. It's not like it's kind of like an off-brand one from like Target. And then in my closet, let me show you guys this one. Everyone's gonna like this one.
All right, dude, he's hyping this one up. I feel good about this. This next hat's gonna be sick, dude. This is cool. No one's got.
So this looks like a basic hat, right? Well, look at the back right here. And we got Cup signature.
Oh, dang, 10. Dude, that's sick.
I designed this at Lids, and then they put it on this hat. This is my first ever custom hat right here.
What? Dude, I'm going to need to hop on that game. That's sick, dude. You said Lids can do that for you?
Yeah, Lids can do it. Like, have them, like, do, like, Cooper Kupp, and then I think you can put the number 10 here, too. And you can pick whatever color you want for the 10 and whatever color you want for the signature. I picked yellow since the hat is like blue. I picked yellow since that's one of their colors, and then white, which is another one of their colors.
Dude, I love it, man. That's incredible. You guys, is that your collection?
Yeah, that's my free hats that I have. Oh, and I have a beanie too.
Nice. Let me tell you. We're gonna see the beanie now. This is my beanie. Okay, I love that, man. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of basic, man. I want just a solid color with the logo. So that is actually like my ideal beanie. That is 100% something that I'd rock, man. 100%.
So when I told you my top 5 QBs, our last stream, I trained Ryan Fitzpatrick and a few other ones. I moved them around. And after seeing some Norm Van Brocklin highlights, I had to put Norm Van Brocklin at number 3. Had to, because
that's incredible.
Van Brocklin is like the best QB, one of the best QBs ever. Roman Gabriel too they're like amazing. Oh, my dad, he got to see Jeff Kemp play
Dang, dude.
at Anaheim Stadium.
That's amazing, man. Dude, I'm loving this right now, man. You go hard on your Rams fandom, even at this age, man. How old are you again?
I'm 14.
14. Dude, I absolutely love that, man. You remind me of a young Sheriff Joe Bags over here, man. Just getting super enthralled with it. I'm a big fan of that, man. That's super cool.
Everyone's probably gonna like this one right here. Right here, I have like right here, it's like a mat and has like the Rams logo right here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. And you're logging the games and all that stuff, man. Dang, man, all hooked up. I absolutely love it, man. So what are you trying to like? What does your future look like, man? You trying to like work for the Rams? You trying to just be a big fan? You trying to do a podcast? Like, what are you trying to do, man?
From like my dream job was either an actor or a sheriff's deputy for LA, a sheriff's deputy in LA, or I want to be when I try out high school football, and if I like playing like either QB, wide receiver, or running backs, then I might stick with football. But if I do college football and do all that, I'm only going to play NFL football if the Rams draft me, because I only like the Rams.
Dude, I love it, man. That's super awesome. I would love to play for the Rams too, but I was never good enough, man. I played wide receiver just for a short time in high school, but I was so buried on the depth chart that I got sick of just sitting in my full pads on the sideline. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here, man. I never got any playing time, so I just left. I was like, all right, never mind. I'm just gonna talk about football instead. So that's where I'm at now, man.
Oh, and you know the saber-tooth? You know the saber-tooth tiger on my logo? This is right here.
That is the actual saber-tooth?
I got this at the La Brea Tar Pits. And pretty much when I was in LA at the La Brea Tar Pits, I really liked the saber-tooth tiger. And then I named him Cool because he looked cool. And then I decided, like, when I started my YouTube channel and stuff, I'm taking a break from my YouTube channel right now because being a YouTuber is hard. For all the YouTubers watching this, being a YouTuber is hard. Yeah. It's really, you have to put in a lot of work.
Oh, what happened? Edwin, I see you in there, man. Oh, actually, we'll come to you here just a minute, man. First of all, I don't know what happened to Cool Bro. Cool Bro, we will definitely get you back on at some point. I don't know if you pop on right now. I don't know if I'll be popping you on right away. Oh, actually, he just came right back, so we'll at least do this part. So, hey.
Okay, sorry. It kind of went off a little bit. I don't know what happened there.
It's all good.
So yeah, I was at the La Brea Tar Pits, and then I got this saber-tooth tiger right here, and yeah, it's kind of just been like my logo or whatever. And and I even have a saber-tooth thing.
Dude, what? That's terrifying. Dude, I love it, man.
This thing is huge.
This has been super awesome, man. Hey, I gotta ask you, I want to turn this back to Rams real fast. Just want to ask you a couple questions about yourself, so we can kind of understand you a little bit more. Is Cooper Kupp your favorite player? If not, who is?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is my favorite player of all time. Got the Triple Crown win, and he is actually the reason why I got into football.
Actually. Really?
He's I look up to Cooper Kupp a lot, and he's just super inspiring. And Cooper Kupp, if you're watching this, I don't know if he is, but imagine
probably.
He is. Yeah. Bro, probably. I'm a huge fan. Cooper Kupp is the best. Can't wait to see him play more. And also in December, I know this doesn't have anything to do with Cooper Kupp because he was injured in the 2022 season. In December, I got this watch right here, and it was the same day. It was on Christmas. The same day that we had that game against the Broncos, and we scored 50 points.
That was a great
Right
game,
after I got this watch and watched the game, I was wearing the watch the whole time. We won. So I call this the Lucky Rams watch.
Absolutely, it's the Lucky Rams watch. I actually have a Lucky Rams shirt. It's a bone gray shirt that just says Rams on it. It's in the blue and soul on where it says Rams. But I will say I've only worn that shirt twice so far this year. Now it was week 1 against the Seahawks, and then it was week 4 against the Colts. So I got to bring that back. I'm sorry I let the fan base down, ruining our luck over here, but I'll bring that back, and for the rest of the season now, I'm going to be wearing that one, man. So you wear your watch, I'll wear my shirt, man, and together we will make sure that the Rams are winning some games. All right.
Every time a Rams game comes on, I always have to wear the watch.
Love that, man. Absolutely love that, dude. Before I get you out of here, is there like what else about this Rams team, man? Is there anybody like the defense that you love? What do you think about Sean McVay, man? Are you a big Sean fan?
Sean McVay, I think he's a pretty good coach. I think he could be a little bit better at calling plays. Like
Okay.
if I were him, I would definitely I would do like better plays. I would have the team watch the teams that are actually doing good, like the Dolphins and the 49ers are like 5-0. The Eagles are 5-0. I'd watch those teams plays and focus on like how those teams are actually 5-0 or like doing that well, and I would focus on how like the plays and find what they're doing that's making them so good, and then I would so all the players have the players practice all of it, and also they need to run the ball more. I think we all agree they need to run the ball more.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have you been to a Rams game?
No, I have not, but I really want to go to SoFi and see one of their games.
You absolutely got it, man.
Have you ever been to a Rams game?
Yeah, I've been to a few. Most of them have been in Denver because I live in Colorado, so I've been to those ones. But I have been out to SoFi twice. The first game that was open to fans, it was a preseason game. It was Rams Chargers. My dad's a big Chargers fan, so we flew out for that one. First time fans were allowed into SoFi, so we were there for that. And then what was it? It was the Super Bowl season, so 21. December, I saw the Jaguars play at the Rams, which was an awesome time. Rams kind of beat them up a little bit, so that was good.
Yeah. Oh, and whenever like I talk to like CJ Ruthless when he's on the round table with Ramsaholic and stuff, I always have to argue with him saying that Tyler Higbee is better than the guy with the long hair.
Kittle?
Niners. Yeah, Kittle.
Dude, I'm with you. I love that, man. I absolutely
way better than Kittle.
I love it, man.
Tyler Higbee is way better. It's the best, in my opinion. Tyler Higbee's the best tight end in the league. Way better than Travis Kelce.
Put it on the show.
Everyone. Oh, and for some reason, I can't figure out why people keep picking JJ over Cooper Kupp. Like JJ's never won a Triple Crown, and JJ's never won a Super Bowl. So what is so special about JJ? Is it just because of the gritty?
You're preaching to the choir, man. I don't know. Dude, I got to move on. I got another guest sitting here that I want to get to, but dude, thank you so much for hopping on. Feel free to come on anytime on these Monday night streams, all right?
I'll probably come on. I'll see if I can come on next week, and
sure,
but I'll come in. I'm going to come in and watch the stream, maybe comment in the chat and stuff.
For sure, man.
Bye, everybody watching. Peace out, and
thank you so much, man.
May the force be with everyone watching. And horns up, everyone.
Thanks, man. Okay, that kid is awesome. So super pumped to talk to him more, man. I hope that he's a regular as far as these streams go. That was really cool, man. We do have a bunch of comments that we will get into, and I do want to watch this game tonight, so we will kind of be piecing out of here. But we do have another guest coming in. Somebody you guys have absolutely grown accustomed to seeing on these streams, well, his name is spelled with 4 letters that are capital, which is the E that it begins with, and then the WIN at the end with Edwin. What up, man?
What's up? How you doing, man?
Dude, incredible, man. I just had an awesome conversation with Cool Bro. That guy is
dude. I saw that. Like, that kid is freaking awesome. Like,
he's one of the most Rams fans I've ever encountered.
Yes, that's dude, the whole time you were talking to him and just his enthusiasm, the way he was like, like, oh my God, like this kid is legit. Like, I love that. And that just, it makes me happy because like you can see like the Rams are gaining more fans, more younger fans, and I love to see that.
He's hardcore, man. He was
look at that. Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Like,
he's going back to Gabriel and stuff. I love that, man. That was super cool. Super awesome, man. I'm glad that he's part of this Rams Showcase community here, man. But how are you doing, dude?
Dude, I'm doing really well, actually. Like, mean, coming from yesterday's loss, like, yeah, it sucked, but I had time to think about it today. I was just like, you know what? We are actually very competitive. Like, we're doing way better than a lot of people thought we were going to do. And to be in the, be that close to beating the Niners, being this close to beating the Eagles, like, everybody thought we weren't going to do anything this year, and we're still in these games, dude. Like, and that just gives me hope. Imagine we had a complete roster. Like, that's it. It would be over for the league. Like,
Well, I think
and that's
too,
where
like, I almost wish this game was just later in the season because it, like, clearly we're still developing and trying to like figure out our own identity. And I think that if this game were later in the season, that could have been a massive benefit. So that's kind of unfortunate. And then obviously you get like the bit of a downfall from Michael Hoyt, who was much better in previous years.
why is that man trying to cover? Why is he trying to cover their tight end? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on there.
It's like, because I've been pro Raheem this year, and I'm really trying to keep that. All right, like I'm like actively trying to be like, no, Raheem it's good that he's here. But then I keep seeing stuff like this where he's covering 30 yards downfield on a tight end, and it's like, okay, but that's a defensive lineman. Like, at his core and at his soul, he's still a defensive lineman. So why is he back there in coverage like that? That's an absolute joke, man. I realized too that he was supposed to cover in the flat, but it just the way the play worked out, he couldn't. Like, he had to bail and try to go catch Goddard. But it's like, dude, he has no business in coverage, and I'm sick of seeing it, man. And then even Kobe Durant seems like he's taken a step back this year. Van Jefferson's fallen completely off a cliff. So I don't know, man. Our weird like development is just kind of odd. Like we don't know who's really gonna pop yet, who's gonna be falling off yet. Kobe Durant's a big surprise to me as far as not playing well.
Yeah, same, dude. Like, I thought, like, just from last year, like, he had like 2 pick sixes
Yeah,
last year.
He was incredible last
Like,
year, man.
yeah, and all of a sudden, like, he's not like my biggest disappointment. Like, for me, it's like Kendrick. Like,
And
every time I see him, like,
overall think Kendrick's playing really well. He just has some unfortunate penalties on him, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Every time I saw him, like, he was just getting burnt, and I was just like, damn, dude, like, what is going on? But it was so frustrating to see that we could not generate pressure. Like, you have Aaron Donald doing everything he possibly can, and nobody can get through. Nobody. Like, Jalen Hurts is just sitting there in the pocket, and I'm like, he's gonna complete this freaking pass. Like, that was my whole thought. Like, anytime, like, even if we would bring an extra guy, we couldn't create pressure. And that was just so frustrating to watch, dude. Like, I was just like, oh my God. And then our defense was on, like, I voted, who's to blame for this game. I put the defense, but partly, like, our offense didn't do them any favors.
Exactly.
Like,
I think it's both. I think that both of them kind of take blame there, because it's like the offense wasn't helping them out by giving them a breath, but they also like couldn't get off the field on third down, like stuff like that. And it still was like a 9-point game. That's still like the way that Rams fans and like our perspective on this game is like, it looked so bad to us. It's like we couldn't do anything on offense or defense. That's one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best team in the NFL. And we got that close to them, man. Like we were in that game for pretty much the entire thing. And all we needed was a play or two to really like spark it. And I think that Sean McVay was trying to force a sparked play. That's why we weren't really running the football. And that kind of stuff obviously can't happen. But it felt like we were there. Like every time we got the ball, it was like, who knows? Something can happen. Like somebody can make a play and we can be right back in this. And it just kept not happening. So I did feel like we were close that entire time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for me, it was just like, my biggest surprise so far of the season has been Witherspoon. Like, that guy has been balling,
Much
dude.
better
Like,
than I expected him to be.
Same, dude. I thought because he was with the Steelers, and I know he had a couple good years with them.
Yeah.
And then last year, I think he was with the Niners, and then that's where he just dropped.
Yeah.
And then now he, we picked him up, and I've just been really impressed with his play. Like, I actually saw a thing where he's like in first when it comes to like being targeted. Like, he is defending his man very well, and that's just been like awesome to see. Like, I thought our secondary was going to be like a point of disappointment, but he's really stepped up, and I love to see that. Like, I hope we can just get some help for Aaron Donald. Like we
Dude,
need to bring somebody off the edge.
Isn't it wild that like of all of the things that we thought going into the season, it's almost complete opposite of like what everybody expected. It's like even just if you look at the defensive unit, we thought that our pass rush would be okay, but our secondary is going to be sloppy. It's the opposite. We can't get home at all, but our secondary is incredible. You know, outside of obviously Durant getting his like he's missing too many tackles. It's like he's got to stop doing that. But and then Kendrick just seems to always have like an untimely penalty somewhere, you know, like or just like I feel like he's so good for 95%, but that 5% he's terrible, and that's like and it's just like overshadows so much of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's true, and especially like, I mean, for me, I feel bad. Like I legitimately just feel bad that Aaron Donald, like, he honestly, like, if he wanted to walk away, I totally understand. He gave everything he had to this team, and I will forever be grateful to that man for what he did for the city of Los Angeles, for what he did for the Rams. You know, he stuck with us through all these years, and for us, like, I just feel like we're not doing him any favors in these last years, you know, that he's going to play by not giving him some help. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, but I'm also going to put a bit of a pause on that because we're a 2-3 team who's been competitive in every single game that we've played so far this year. And I think that our hard stretch, like we knew the first 5 weeks, we talked about that going in this entire time. The first 5 weeks are a gauntlet, and we came out of it 2-3, and we're healthy now. Like obviously we lose Bobby Brown. He's going to be out 5 to 7 weeks, which actually is not that bad considering I thought he was just going to be done for the year. So we'll get him back later in the season, stuff like that. But like our offensive line seems healthy. Like everybody else is good right now. If you would have told me entering the season that right now we'd be 2-3 but healthy, I would sign up for that every single time, man. Because like last year, obviously we didn't have the health, and that it just completely derailed everything. But this year, the way that everything's built right now, it's like we have a situation where I mean these next 4 games are absolutely games that the Rams could win. 100% the Rams can win these games. So we could, in theory, over this next month or so, be sitting at a 6-3 record all of a sudden. And now I think the entire tone has changed. You know what I mean? So I'm still confident, man, and I don't think that we're blowing anything. We knew.
Yeah, no. No, yeah, for sure. And I kind of knew going into it, like, you know, these first few games are going to be like hell, you know, and I looked at the schedule today and I was just like, all right, we got Arizona coming up the next game. We got the Browns, you know, we got these winnable games, like, and I fully trust that we are going to do way better than what we've been doing these past few games. But what kind of scares me and what always like makes me pause, I feel like sometimes Sean McVay just gets into his head. You know what I mean? Like, and he starts overthinking things, and it's not even the opponent; it's Sean McVay himself and how he wants to do things. Like kind of like what you said. Like if he sees like we're down 1 point, he's like, oh well, let's stop running the ball. Let's just keep throwing it every freaking time, you know. And it's just like
trying to create a spark, but it's like, dude, let's just get some first downs. Like that'll be the spark. We can pick up not
even first down. Just like pick up 3 or 4 yards. Like make it a 3rd and manageable instead of a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You know,
3rd and 2 instead. You know, instead of just trying just incomplete and punt. You know, so yeah,
right.
Like okay, so let's look at the next. Just the 4 games until we have our bye week. All right. So I'm in a position. My brain is thinking like this team absolutely could be 6-3 going into the bye week. Realistically, I'll go ahead and put it at 5-4 because I think that's reasonable. You never know with the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, the Green Bay Packers playing at the Green Bay Packers is going to be a tough one, even though they are definitely not what they used to be. But the Steelers, absolutely winnable. That is after the Arizona Cardinals, and those 2 are at home, and then those 2 road games. So 5-4 sitting in our bye week, I don't hate that at all. We've already beat the Seahawks. We get them at home to come off of our bye. Then we're in Arizona, which we feel like should be a win. Back home against the Browns, which should be a win, right? At the Ravens, which is definitely a toss-up, and I feel like we just kind of play weirdly against them. I don't know.
I still feel we need revenge for that freaking Baltimore game in LA when Marcus Peters intercepted Jared Goff. I'm still not over that.
That's fair, actually.
I'm still not over that.
And then Commanders, Saints, Giants, Niners to finish the season. I feel good about this, man. Like I feel like the Rams are in a position where like you think 4 or 5 more losses at most. Like so, I think at worst this team is still hitting 9-8. I really do.
Yeah, and like
That's if
I
we're
mean,
losing games that we probably should be winning.
no, right, for sure. And we even talked about this, like the expectations going into the season, and you know how talking about like we're still going to be Rams fan at the end of the day. Like, yeah, it's amazing when you win, sucks when you lose, but at the end of the day, it's like we're still going to be Rams fans. For me, it's just I've been so impressed with this team just being resilient and just being able to go out there and compete when everybody counted us out. You know, everybody.
Yep.
And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what happens. Like, and I know like we still got this season, but like part of me is already kind of looking ahead to see the moves that we make next year. Just because like I feel like our cap space situation is gonna be a lot better. And we'll have a first round pick since 2016. Like I feel like it's the sky's the limit for us. We won our Super Bowl, and I call him my brother. He's like my best friend. He's a diehard Cowboys fan, and he was hitting the bottle pretty hard last night, dude. And he was giving me crap. He's like, well, you know, we're still really good. What are you guys doing? And I'm just like, I sent him a picture of Aaron Donald with his Super Bowl ring, and I'm like, that's what we did. You know,
we'll get one of those.
What have you done?
It's really funny seeing those the Niners and Cowboys fans argue last night, and it's like, man, neither of y'all won anything recently. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you guys
Exactly. Like Cowboys are gonna cowboy it up, and Niners are gonna choke during the playoffs, like they always do. Like I'm not even worried about it.
I submitted my overreaction to the Pat McAfee show. I never get put on there, but I always submit one, man. But this week it was I don't want to overreact, but the 49ers are too good too soon. This isn't sustainable, man. They've peaked way too early. I don't think that's sustainable. And of course, you get the course of the season, you start getting a little bit beat up, and that team also has zero depth. So if like you lose Christian McCaffrey, they have nobody else at running back. Like then it's basically just a free for all of just like trying to get guys who can maybe create a spark. Outside of Debo and Ayuk, pretty hard drop off after that. After Kittle, pretty hard drop off after that. Like even their linebacker, Fred Moore's obviously incredible, but if he goes out, the defense takes a massive, massive hit. And of course, that's the case with every team. Like if Aaron Donald goes down, we know that that's a massive hit for our defense. We are a different defense at that point. But to have some kind of depth and have some kind of rotation is extremely important. And that's also why, I mean, I don't know if anybody really is paying attention to this. The 49ers have so much cap space, even right now. They've got like $54 million of cap space right now. Like they could go spend if they want to, but there's no depth there at all. Like, and I'm very confused at how they're building their stuff right now. But if they get some injuries, man, they're done.
Oh yeah, nope, exactly. Kind of like what you're saying. Like they're peaking. Like, I mean, it's great. Everybody's talking about them and stuff, but you know, like you said, like they have no depth, and if something happens to their main guys, like it's, you know, like what are they going to do?
Yeah, that's just it though. It's like, I mean, we've also seen this happen over the last however many years that everybody goes into the season like, oh, 49ers, even all the media, 49ers, they're incredible. They're unstoppable. Who's stopping the 49ers? Today they're talking on all these shows of like, nobody can stop the 49ers. They can be undefeated the whole season. It's like that. It's like, yeah, but we say this every year, and then in the playoffs, something happens and they fall apart. Like, so until they can show that they can overcome that, I mean, I'm not buying it, you know. And that's you. If you want to be the regular season champs, that's fine. I realize that is kind of what their whole vibe is right now. They love to brag about regular season stuff, but do it in the playoffs, man. Like, and then come back.
No, yeah. I mean, you guys can keep your regular season championship. We'll go for the Super Bowls. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. That's so funny, man. So what are you thinking, man? How do you feel about what is your state of mind right now on this Rams team? Are you down on this squad? Are you feeling good? Like, are you pumped for the rest of the season? Are you looking past this season and trying to see like what we're going to be doing? Or are you still thinking that this could be the one?
I will never, ever, ever be down on the season. Like if the Rams are playing, dude, I cannot be down. Like that's just me and my Rams fandom. This like they can frustrate the hell out of me sometimes, but I'm still gonna watch every freaking Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. But I'm very optimistic. You know, especially because I feel like we're not done making moves, and I'm really excited to see what we do next. And I'm just excited for us to like peak. We haven't peaked. Like
Yeah.
we're still learning. We're still this offense, this defense is still learning how to play with each other. And I just feel like once we're clicking, it was the first game Cooper Cup was back, and it looks like he's been playing the whole season.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We made that joke, and it was like, because after that first drive, it was like, dang, he's like, he's about to pass Cooper Cup in season receptions this game, man. This is crazy.
Exactly. So I'm really excited. Like I'm very optimistic. Like anytime like we go into a game, even if it's a game everybody's like, dude, you're gonna get your butt kicked. Like I still go in it always thinking like, well, if this happens, when this happens, like we can still win. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just make up scenarios in my head. I'm like, no, we still have a chance to win. Like, what do
I'm
you
that
mean?
same way. And I still feel like if this last game, if that last Eagles drive before halftime doesn't happen, the entire attitude of the second half is completely different. I think that really like that hit a young team in the worst way. Like the Rams roster is too young to have some stuff like that happen where you feel really good about where you're at, scoring with 32 seconds to go in the half and taking the lead against a team like the Eagles. For them to go do that, I think that was like that hit. I think the young roster in a way that was
Oh yeah.
pretty detrimental to the second half. And I know that Sean McVay probably went into halftime being like, screw it, it happens. Let's just go out there and keep fighting. But I think internally, though, those players were like, come on, like everything we do, they just have a counter for. So, I mean, credit, and I hate to say it, like the same thing that Sean McVay always says, but credit to the Eagles, man. They're a damn good football team. They're boring as hell to watch, but they're good at it.
Right, but that's the thing though, right? Like they are expected to be a good team. No one expected us to be competitive. Everybody thought we were gonna get blown out, dude. Like we weren't supposed to be competitive, and we still were. Even with our deficiencies, even with having such a young roster, we're still in these games. Like, and that's what makes me so optimistic. Like, I'm so happy and glad to have Matthew Stafford in this team, dude. Like, I can see, like, I watch other games, and I'm like, oh my god, this quarterback is just not good. Like, and it just makes me appreciate having Matthew Stafford even more. So I just like hope we keep him upright, like protect him at all costs, like just make sure he's good. And he looked good. Like I was honestly really worried about that injury he had, you know, against the Colts, but he looked good out there, like for the most part. Like, yeah, there were some questionable throws out there, but
Did you see what he said about it afterwards? Somebody asked him about it, and they're like, "Was your hip bothering you?" And he's like, "No, I'm just always that slow."
No, I didn't see that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Man. All right, dude. I'm gonna hop into the comments here because I do want to watch this game tonight. The Packers playing tonight. I do want to check this one out. So I'm gonna start running through some comments, man, so I can get out of here and catch this one tonight. But dude, like always, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure to be here. You know, I love what you do, bro. And, you know, keep going. You know, we always got your back. And horns up. Go Rams.
Go Rams. Hell yeah. And win, capital W-I-N at the end of that, man. So Edwin's awesome, man. I love when that guy comes on. And Cool Bro coming in too, man. We've got good guests today. This has been an absolute blast. And yeah, if anybody does want to hop in, that is absolutely cool. I'll go ahead and post the share link again. But I do want to, at some point, peace on out of here so I can go watch the game tonight. So yeah, let's see here. We're gonna run through some comments here. Some of them we've kind of it's things that we've already addressed, so we won't run through every single one here, but do want to have some good stuff here. So let's see. Oh yeah, Danny bringing up a good point here. I think a lot's because of experience at the moment. That's a completely reasonable assessment. I think that kind of what I said was like, if this game could have happened later in the season, I would have liked our chances a lot more. Simply because we're a developing team still, and we knew going in, that these first 5 games were an absolute gauntlet, and we came out of it 2-3 and healthy. Our main injuries right now, we have Noteboom who went down, but I'll be honest, I think that our top 5 starting offensive linemen might be with Dotson in that lineup instead. I like Noteboom, but I also really like him as depth, and Shelton looks to be okay, so that's good news there. Jackson made it all the way through the game, which was one of my concerns as well. So So that's obviously awesome. But Cup and Stafford aren't clicking. I mean, they are, but not all the time. But, I think we saw like right away that they are definitely clicking. There's a few things though. Yeah, it's week 5, and I kind of say this every single year, but with this new CBA that we have right now and the limited times that you are able to practice with people, no team is truly into their own identity now until like week 7 or 8. So we are still not there yet. And like Edwin was saying, like we have not peaked yet because we cannot have peaked yet. Because with this young of a team, it could be like week 10 or 11 that we really see who this team really is. But I think that they clicked as well as I could have hoped for them to not have been practicing together for, since Cup went down with that hamstring in training camp. So, I mean, I don't know if I fully agree with that comment. I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to like fully discredit that comment in general, but I think that based all things considered, I think that they connected fine. Let's see here. Defense didn't tackle well. Yeah, that was an absolute killer. I think that wrapping up is going to be a topic probably, I would hope, in the defensive meeting rooms. So, yeah, you got to wrap up. There's too many times where you just tried to throw a shoulder into somebody hoping that they would fall down. This is a team that was in the Super Bowl. Their most recent loss was in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, you can't just let them do that, man. You got to just go get them, So that was super unfortunate, super frustrating to see. But and Shannon says defense isn't the issue. It's clearly the offense. I think in that game it was a bit of both. But offense, I think you got to create a spark in some way. And I know that that's all Sean McVay was trying. You have to run the football, though. I'm not trying to make excuses for Sean. There's the stats that are coming out today. It's like we're like third least rush attempts or like rush percentage when we're down by like 7 or more. And we're also like third least if we're down by 3 or something like that. It's like the second we're down, Sean McVay completely panics and just tries to throw the ball. I get why. I just don't agree with the reasoning why. I still think you guys got to play the game. When you're in the third quarter down by 3 to a very good football team, it's not time to abandon the run game. It's time to still just keep it going, keep doing what you're doing. Fourth quarter, that's when you kind of maybe like, okay, well, let's adjust some things. But if you're in the third quarter, we can't just be abandoning the run game like that. And we have seen, this is now the second week in a row that our second half performance was not nearly as good as our first half performance. So I think that that's something we need to look at as well, is coming out of the locker room with a little bit more urgency, a little bit more fight. Without that penalty to start the third quarter, we're 3 and out pretty fast. There was a face mask penalty on Kyren. Who honestly, I mean, the Eagles just made a terrible play by grabbing the face mask there because they had us 3 and out to start the third quarter, and then of course it didn't work out in anyway. But yeah, I think the blame goes to both units though. Offense has to move the football the defense off the field for a little bit, try to get that time of possession in your favor, and defense has to get the hell off the field on third down. What are we doing over here? Like that tackling was absolute garbage. The pass rush was non-existent. So I mean, we can say the blame game is one thing, but I mean, ultimately, I just think that the Eagles came in with a better game plan and the better football team at this time. So I think it just makes sense the Rams lost that game. It sucks to see. Obviously, we don't want to see the Rams losing, but and when you have a team that's that good and that smart with the football like the Eagles, I mean, we were just outmatched in that game. So coaching and roster-wise, we were just outmatched. And it was still only a 9-point game. I think that the Rams ultimately played okay. No moral victories. Victories are victories, not losses. It's hard to find victories in losing, especially when the alternative is to win, and then that's your victory. So prefer those. But 19, yeah, this is a good point too from Shannon. So 19 second half points total in the last 4 games is the big issue. We absolutely 100% need to be a better football team in the second half because we have not been so far these last few weeks. Seattle was a different ball game, but Sean McVay just kind of has a way against Pete Carroll teams, so it's hard to even judge off of that. That's why I'm really curious to see this next game this upcoming week. My game preview, I'm kind of interested to dig into the numbers and dig into the stuff here. Because with the new coach, I mean, Kingsbury had nothing for McVay. It was kind of similar to that. It was the whole like NFC West kind of carousel. Seattle, like everybody owns the Cardinals. That's just the way it is because the Cardinals are not a good football team right now. But it's like the Rams always beat the Seahawks. The 49ers always beat the Rams, and the Seahawks always beat the 49ers. Like, it's like a little circle. And it's like, who's the best? Well, it's like if you go off based off of like, well, this team beat this team and this team beat this, like, then it's one thing. But ultimately, the Rams are just, what I'm getting at is the Rams have not been good in the second half, and that absolutely has to change. And looking at the Seattle game is what kind of where that all ties in. Is that's a hard one to look at. So yeah, second half has just not been very good. And Mike is saying it's Morrison, the ridiculously soft defense, but I'm not fully in agreement with that this year, because I think that I think the defense is playing pretty good football right now overall. I mean, we gave up too many yards in this one. But the Eagles, again, they were getting to third and short and converting. Get to third and short, convert. Get to third and short, convert. It's just a formula. That's they knew the formula. Keep the football out of your playmakers' hands of the opponent. The Rams, obviously, with Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, like, they did a good job of at times keeping the ball and not even just keeping our offense off the field in general. And then get to third and short, convert. Get to third and short, convert. It's a formula, and they did it better than we could. That's how that game went. So they're just a better football team than the Rams. I mean, what do you want? Like, we can sit here and blame units all we want to. We can blame coaches. We can blame players all we want to. But the Eagles were in a Super Bowl recently for a reason. They're 5-0 for a reason. It's a good squad. So, I mean, I think that's exactly why I'm not like, Rams lost. It's like, because, like, well, I mean, yeah, we were kind of supposed to. Like, it's early season, whatever. Like, and we're still developing. We knew it was going to be a development year. So, just got to keep that going. Yeah, Edwin, he's right. Eagles controlled the clock. I mean, it's 100%. Mike saying that he has jerseys older than that kid, which is cool, bro. Yeah, me too. But also, what the hell does that have to do with anything, Mike? Kid obviously knows what he's talking about, man. He's a hardcore fan. So any kind of shade on Cool Bro not going to be accepted here. I realize that that's probably not exactly what you're doing. Just kind of tossing in a fun little joke there. But, like, come on, man. Like, kid knows what he's talking about, at least. And the passion's there. Passion is absolutely there. So, and he's talking about, was he even alive when Montana played? Hey, cameras exist, bro. Footage exists. That's a thing that people can look at. So, I don't know. The second, if somebody starts a comment, I've been a Rams fan since I just stopped reading the rest of that, because what's going to follow is the worst football take you've ever heard. If you need to justify your football take by preceding it with how long you've been a fan, it's probably a terrible take. Because if it was a good take, you don't need to try to give yourself credibility at the front of it. You can just give the take, and the take will give you credibility. If you got to come in and say why your opinion should be relevant, it's not. It's fun. Yeah, Rams has his kid's future brighter mind. The kid, he's on it, man. That's good stuff, dude. That's good stuff. Compton Mania. Dude, by the way, I just want to throw this in there before I totally address this comment. I loved making that commercial, by the way. That was so much fun. But who would you put Michael Hoyt's? Who would I put in Michael Hoyt's spot? Literally at this point, anybody. I would be willing to give anybody a shot. Nick Hampton, O'Shawn Mathis. Let's try it. I think Daniel Hardy's on a roster, but I would have way preferred him. You name it, man. I'll do it. I'll at least try. You know. And who would you replace Michael Hoyt with on the team? Like, who deserves to play more than him? Anybody. It's not who deserves to play more than him. It's that he does not deserve to have these reps anymore. If the position calls for being in coverage, then he's not good enough to play that position. If the position on the defense is calling for him to cover tight ends, then he's not good enough to play that position, so he shouldn't be. That's my point on Michael Hoyt. And I realize that's like, maybe you're in agreement here, but that's my entire mindset on Michael Hoyt right now. Clearly, he's not good enough to play that spot. If you have a player who cannot perform the duties, then get him out of here and let's try somebody else. At what point are we just like beating a dead horse with having Michael Hoyt in coverage? It's a terrible play. It doesn't work. And the offenses know that, and they're picking on it. The second he's in coverage, that's where the quarterback's looking because he's not very good at it. And if that's part of the position, then get him out of here. He doesn't need to play in that spot. Put him back on the defensive line, get him rushing after the quarterback, which in fairness, he hasn't even done that well this year. So anybody is my answer to that one. It fired me up a little bit. AD is goated. Hopefully the rookies can learn from him. I think that they are. I think that Kobe Turner is taking a lot of tips and stuff from AD. I talked about it last week. There was a play against the Colts where it was a pass play, but Kobe Turner got in the backfield so fast I really thought it was AD. And that's incredible. Johnny says our schedule gets easier from here minus the Cowboys game. Minus the Cowboys game? Dude, Cowboys aren't good. What are you talking about? Cowboys like to beat up on bad teams, but they get absolutely smoked the second they play anybody worth a damn. But yeah, we can get a win streak going. All right, I'm gonna change my mood here. All right, I feel like I got fired up. We're good. We're good. Just imagine the what numbers AD would have if we had an elite pass rusher next to him. Dude, 100%. Could you imagine getting an edge rusher who like actually took attention away from AD instead of trying to allow edge rushers who are not that experienced or good get after it because the attention's on AD? Dude, you're onto something there, man. If the Rams don't have the lead, McVay does overthink and call stupid plays. Yeah, he tends to do that, man. Yeah. This team looks like the 2020 Rams, losing games they should be winning, but still end up making the playoffs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my brain was thinking 19 Rams, where I was like, they did make the playoffs that year. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was an interesting season, man. It did feel like the Rams were like leaving a lot out there that in that 2020 season. It really did feel like it's like, yeah, we're in the playoffs, but like we should be better than this. Like it felt like the team was better than they were performing. Not hating on CMC, might get injured the way Shanahan overuses him. Dude, he's in a position right now. He's in a tough spot, actually. Like he's getting very utilized in that offense. And I just absolutely agree with you, man. I think he's getting run to the ground right now. And I don't think that what they're doing offensively with him specifically is sustainable. It's just we know what happens when you have a running back that you absolutely love that can do a little bit of everything, and you use the crap out of him for the first 14 weeks of the season, and then he falls off a cliff. Like we know that story. And CMC, he's incredible. He's extremely talented, but he's also a human. And the way that he's getting hit right now, man, he's getting banged up. And I'm actually surprised on that play last night that he wasn't pulled out to even get an eval on the concussion, the way that he got rocked. I thought that it would at least be a play for like the guy on the sideline to do some of these or something on him, you know what I mean? But I mean, hey, it worked out, and right now it's working out for them. But I do really think that, and not just to try to be a hater on the Niners, which I do love to be, by the way. I mean, in fairness, but not just to like wiggle into that space. But I mean, the 49ers, I don't think that what they're doing is sustainable. They're very top end, they're very top heavy, and they're peaking right now. And if y'all want to peak in week 6, that's cool. That's awesome. But championships aren't won in September. You don't win a Super Bowl in October. So yeah, go ahead and do it up, man. Be the best. Go be the best all this offseason or all this like early season. But let's see what happens, man. I am very curious. I would love more information on this one, man. Coming from Tribe here. Start Evans this week. Had enough of Kyren. I say man, by the way. I saw somebody messaged me and was like, you say man, and like talking to guys all the time. According to my analytics, my audience is 100% male. So look at me and look at my content. This is not attracting the ladies. All right. Anyway, that's beside the point. But Evans is who you want to see. Obviously, I'm very curious to see Evans, but not enough to bench Kyren for him because I like Kyren Williams. But also, we haven't seen Evans, so we don't even know how good he can be. On my school in 8th grade, Niner and Hawks fan would say The most hateful things make me depressed for a little while, but I know, dude. Well, I hate that, but at the same time, oh, it's an interesting thing here, man. It's like you spun my brain into a weird little space there, because yeah, I don't know. When I was in high school, the Rams won not a lot of games, so I mean, I had to trash talk a lot. I just kind of shrug it off, though, man. You kind of do it yourself too, like kind of be like, yeah, we suck, whatever. Like that's one thing. So there's that part of it. There's also just the fact, like, I don't play for them, so like whatever. Like, I didn't drop any footballs this week. Like, I didn't miss any tackles this week. I just yelled at the TV in Colorado. Like, what do you want me to do about this, man? Like, if I had the option to help, I would, but I can't. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's don't let these dudes take you down. Cool, bro. You had we had so many comments in here, man, hyping you, dude. That was super. Let me see some of these here. Let me go back up here. So Shannon comes in talking about how sick your hat is. He wanted me to ask you where you got the hat, obviously. Edwin, who came in after you. This kid is awesome. GP Shadow, love the football, Matt. Rams House has his kid's future broader than mine. Joe Harris, this kid rules. Like, yeah, I mean, you're good, bro. Like, you're good, man. Thanks for hanging out, man. I genuinely do appreciate it, man. That was a really cool conversation, and you're welcome on here anytime, man, for sure. That being all said, I think that we're in a decent spot right now to go ahead and kind of wrap up here. So I've done a terrible job of updating ramshowcase.com as far as my written game previews go. So I'm going to get back to that this week. I'm going to carve out some time and make it a point to actually do it. And then obviously look out for the game preview, which will pop up on YouTube on Thursday morning, and the full podcast kind of same area. I get that done late night Wednesday when I get home from work. So it's essentially just Wednesday morning or Thursday morning, excuse me, that the podcast comes out. But ramshowcase.com is where you can, the second that those are published, that is where I put them. So you can check them out on ramshowcase.com. You get the game previews embedded. There's no ads on there because I'm not allowed to advertise on YouTube anymore because YouTube hates happiness and stuff. But then also the podcast is there. Embedded right on the front page, so it's all right there. And like I said, I will get better at writing the game previews. I do want to get back to that, especially with a big old game against the Arizona Cardinals this week. Obviously, this is a fun one for us because it's a division game. It's a team that the Rams have had a lot of success against, and a team who's not winning a lot of football games right now. So a good opportunity to add a win into the first column of the sorry, I got a text and my brain is trying to respond in my head and then also say words, which is not a good thing. Add a win is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, other than that, be on the lookout for all that good stuff coming up this week. And then, of course, Ram Showcase Live will be back to it again on Monday. Yeah, just go Rams and stuff. Don't be super down on this team, man. I think that's like my whole point of this stream today is like, because like we're fine, guys. Like we knew that the first 5 games were like super, super tough. Like we were gonna have a hard time these first 5, man. And so, yeah, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. All right, that's gonna do it for me. Thank y'all for hanging with me, and of course, Ram Showcase this week. Be on the lookout for it. But other than that, peace and out.